Ask Patrica. My name is Patrica Dallas, and today we're going to talk about why is market research important. All right, so today we're going to start out with this one particular thing. Oh, before we get started, so I want to thank all you guys for your support. We're currently at a couple of hundreds, so thank you for tuning in, commenting, liking, and sharing. I really appreciate that. So now let's get started. So today we're going to talk about why market research is important. Now, is it going to cost you anything? Is it going to cost tens, thousands? No, it's going to cost you sweat equity, just a little bit of your time. And if you do this, you will save yourself thousands of dollars in the long run because you pay for what you don't know, believe it or not. Okay, so here we go. Now, the first thing you want to do when you're doing your market research, and here's some tools that you can use, all right? Now, they have Google Scholar. Google Scholar is an extension of Google, all right? You can use that and it'll pull a lot of informative information that is credible sources. All right, another thing you can do is download Audible, which this is not a sponsored video, by the way. This is just something that I've used. You can download Audible, do the free trial. They'll give you a credit and you're able to get a book and you can listen to it. So kind of give you an example of what I do, how I can always stay on top of my market and how I know get more information. To better help me is I'm driving down the street, instead of listening to the radio, I play my Audible book and listen to get some new facts, some tricks, some strategies and different things like that. If I have some downtime, I'm at a doctor's appointment with my kids, I turn on my Audible book. If I'm sitting somewhere waiting on somebody or waiting between clients, turn on my Audible book. I try to stick my book in there throughout the day so I can get as much information as possible. So that's an easy way, credible sources, great authors out there. So it's some good tools that you can have to be able to do your research. Next thing you do, cost you $5 and a little bit of sweat equity and some of your time. Go to the library, check with the librarian and see what some good sources as far as your niche. And the reason why I say niche is because you need to figure out your need. Now, you want to take your need and compare it to what something you are excellent at. And the reason why I say this is, right, I love business. I have no absolute yes I do, I got it from God, but I love it. I could talk about it all day, every day. It gives me energy, keeps me excited, right? So I had to figure out, what can I do? I mean, is there a need? And guess what? It is a need. There's a lot of people out there that want to go in business, have that entrepreneurship, don't have the guidance, but they need somebody to help them along the way. And this is what actually inspired me to start this channel, so that I can share the wealth of information that God has given me. So, right, here we go. You find your need, you compare it to what you're gifted in, what you're passionate about, and when you do that, it never, ever becomes a job. It becomes a passion, right? So, then does your need solve a problem? If it doesn't solve a problem, and if it's too trendy, so let me give you examples of some services, right? You have service-based business, you have products-based business. Products solve problems. I'm ashy, I buy lotion. What does the lotion do? It solves my ashiness, right? So products solve problems, services solve problems. You want to find a need that solve a problem, and then if it solve a problem, you want to see the longevity of that problem, right? That's important. You don't want to jump in industries where it's real trendy, up and down, here today, gone tomorrow, right? You want to find something that you can give quality service for, and it's a need and you solve a problem. Once you figure out your need that's associated with your passion, then you want to go to your customer and figure out who your customer is. Okay, so you know that there's a need. Now, what type of customer need it? Is it male, female? Is it elderly, middle-aged, young people? It helps you determine your target audience. Once you figure out who needs it, then you know who your customers are. Once you find out who your customers is, you know how to position yourself, you know how to market yourself, you know how to put yourself out there and make yourself available to those customers, right? And then next, once you figure out your customers, you're easily figured out. This not even on hard research, right? You can easily figure out your competition. Once you figure out who your competition, let's just say, one of the strategies that I did when I first got into the industry and I wanted to market myself and get as many clients as I did, was I took a strategy from Walmart. So let me give you an example. Y'all know I love my little testimonials and my stories, right? So I was starting out, and one of the additional services that I added to my bookkeeping business was doing tax preparation. So I was like, how could I get clients? And so my sister had previously worked at Walmart, and she used to always tell me how she has to do those price matches, and it got on her nerves, right? So I remember price matching. People love to save. People love a good bargain. People love a good deal, right? So why not roll with the big dogs? Offer that same quality service as your competitors, but beat them at it, right? So I start price matching, and then I say price match it and I take off a little more, right? So that's what I did to get me a lot of clients for that particular part of my business. Now, once you know who your competition is and you monitor them and you watch their behaviors and how they advertise and how they market themselves, then you yourself can learn how you can market yourself and give yourself a more competitive edge. All right, next we're going to talk about why you. So this is important. You know who your competition is. Now, why should your customers choose you? What makes you stand out? What makes you different? So that's where you have to do a little self and go in and do some research within yourself. And you have to think about it. How you're gonna position yourself. What's gonna make you different than anybody else? And so that's a lot of things that I teach my clients. So if you know one person do this, do it this way and do it better. And one of the things that I like to do that was one of the things that I've learned, and this, I don't promote anything, but it's this one of the first books that I read that really inspired to change how I think as an entrepreneur is Think and Grow Rich. And then also Rich Dad and Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Everybody knows him. So how did I make myself stand out from other people? And one of the things that I love to do for my clients is I do what they hire me for, and then I do a little more. So giving you that free advice. I do what they hire me for, and I do them a little more. Once they see my service and my work ethics, I get them hooked. Then I don't abruptly stop giving them extras. I just let them know, okay, that's additional cost. We did that as a one-time courtesy. Just thank you for your support, blah, 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 and they will understand. Now, another good key thing to do, so before you start that method, is make sure you put that on your website, make it public or whatever, in your disclaimers and different things, so it won't startle your clients, right? Okay, and then a lot of times what I do when I'm doing my client agreements or I'm out there doing my contracts, I let them know, hey, this is the price, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you that family and friends discounts because we like that, right? So I'll do something like that. Or I just mention, hey, I'm gonna give you this month and that month free. We're gonna do this, we're gonna throw this in. And then that's how I set myself apart. But how you don't overwork yourself so that you next go to pricing, right? Because you're giving out all this free stuff, you're still working, everybody want to get paid, right? So this is what the research come in. And let me tell you about my story, okay? So you guys know how I like to tell my little testimonies, right? So I was charging this client cheap, and I had to do a lot of work. So in the end, it was causing me to go negative in a month, right? So pricing and doing your research on where you should be will save you thousands of dollars in the long run and a headache from getting frustrated, okay? So let me give you an example of the importance of doing market research for your pricing. All right, so I'm charging this client cheap, doing all this work, and then I don't have time to do anything else, or I'm limited with my time to doing that. So pricing is very good if you go out and see where your competitors stand so that you can better position yourself. And the good habit of doing this, right, is throwing out those discounts and coupons and different things like that for your clients. Set your prices, put them on your website, have them readily available, and then price it according to your competitors. If your competitors here and then you got some down here, then get right there in the middle, or take it down $10. And I don't know about this thing. I learned this in marketing because I have a degree in marketing. Something about that 99 cents. So like, never price yourself like, oh, it's $130. If you price it $129.99, it just seems so much better to clients when you price it like that. So you know, your competition pricing it at $150, you can price it at $139.99, and you're still giving the same quality work as your competitors, but at a cheaper price. So again, today we talked about why market research is important. I encourage you guys, go out there, spend that time, give yourself that investment of knowing where you're gonna stand in your niche, in your market, so that you can thrive. Again, thank you for commenting, liking, sharing. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you soon in the next video.